First of all, do you know this guy?
Bill Cosby, P. Diddy. Looks like a mix of them two.
Okay, give me your true investigative take on this whole P. Diddy thing, honestly, because Hollywood is a real thing. Hollywood's a real thing. It seems as if a lot of people are coming out now. We don't know what's true, what's not. We're not in their deal, but I have met certain people that are really up there. You know, I've had Michael Rappaport's conversations, Ice Cube, Big Three, when I was working there with Mike Rappaport and doing some things for Big Three. I got to meet people. Russell, who's now in Bali, who we haven't seen anything. We don't even know where he's at. It's just ironic that he's the #1 guy on a Epstein manifest, and then all of a sudden it's okay. We just forgot about him. He hasn't been in the country in years, and then seems that Diddy's following very similar footsteps. It seems like they walked by Diddy, did not arrest him, arrested his drug mule, who was a Syracuse Orangeman point guard. Wondering if Jim Boeheim knew about that. But anyway, where are you at with this? Doesn't it similar vibe as the Russell thing, the Epstein thing? There's a lot of shit coming out. 50 Cent now is talking about Jay-Z maybe next. I guess a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, listen, he better, if I'm Diddy, I would obviously think about fleeing, surely. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's still here. Russell Simmons is right in going to Indonesia. They don't have an extradition treaty. That's where Bali is. I think he has to worry about if he's here, he's going to go to federal prison for a long time. I've heard a lot of stories about this guy. Read the indictments. Read some of the things coming out about him.
Why haven't they arrested him yet, though?
Well, because I don't think they have enough yet. When they come, they're going to listen. Why do you think they're putting out all this stuff? They're doing investigation too.
I watched your video on the
That's why they raided his house.
I watched your video on the Freed Kid, and I looked at these things, and I saw growing up, I got to be raised by a guy named Freeway Rick Ross, who went through a very similar thing back in the day. And his home was invaded by Homeland Security and the FBI combined. And it was a very professional job. There were boxes. It was lined up. They knew what they were doing, and they were going to do it in a very, very finite, detailed manner. His house was ransacked. Like they were looking for one particular thing, and they gutted the house in a hood mentality sort of way.
Realize the feds don't just raid your house for nothing, right? They're not going to come there for, something ridiculous and trivial. Listen, they already have what they want. They're just shoring up the case through stuff in his home, getting him at the wrong time. They already know what they're going to hit him with.
Or they're not going to they're going to let him get out because he is the whistleblower of all these bigger wigs.
And that's what we want to bring up. Like, I know it's a conspiracy, but Jeff, is there any truth to that at all? Where maybe they could come to his house to try to destroy evidence of some higher names to protect them?
Or they can do what they did to J.E. I'm not going to say his name. And he can go to prison and he'll be whacked or he'll kill himself. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if there's other stuff higher than this. All I know is they're going to find what they need. I don't even know if they need anything from his house. They already have this stuff. The feds don't come unless they already know they can get you. And this is why they're very successful. It's not that they can beat you. It's they will throw something in front of you and say, listen, if you go to trial, we will throw the fucking book at you and you'll never see the light of day again. So here's 20 years, plead, and this will be over. And you say, well, I guess I'll take 20 years because I really don't want to face you and the full weight of the government coming down on me. So that's what they'll do here. And that's why they're so successful. Most people will just plea, like mob guys. They'll go to a mob guy and say, hey, look, we have you on planning a murder. You could take it to trial if you want. But if you get convicted, you're going away for life. You'll never see your family again. Or you could plead. We'll give you 10 years. That's what they do.
I did 18 months in prison and in jail combination, LA County, which was probably one of the worst jails in America, even worse than some state prisons or federal prisons. I got stabbed there. I kind of been through the whole thing. I broke it down this morning. We kind of talked about, I grew up with Suge Knight. He told me some things, and I've seen things. I want you to break down to the casual fan that don't know how the judicial system works or how people that get their first criminal charge versus having criminal charges and the point system that is entitled with it. Like I started off, obviously, even though it was my first offense, but it was a federal crime at the time when I was under 18, I still had 7 points going into jail.
Right.
And people don't know what points are probably. I don't even know if Smitty does, but
I don't. Can you explain it?
So I had 7 points, which even with no convictions prior, but they ended up giving me 13. They tapped on 6 to me. And I was the first. Luckily, I got it down, and a lot of other shit happened, and I got it exonerated. No longer on my record. I was a young dumb cat. I didn't even do anything. I just did not snitch. Let's just keep it at that.
Every grouping of crimes in the federal system, which most people don't even know really exists. They think of, let's say you stick up a liquor store, they're going to come, they'll arrest you and take you to state prison. It's very simple. But the federal level has, so let's say you're involved in embezzlement, like you steal a bunch of shit from a business or something, and it was in another state. You're crossing state lines. It's a federal crime. So they're going to look at you. For instance, this kid, you've seen this kid, Smitty, SBF, right? The curly hair kid.
Yeah.
You just got sentenced yesterday. The feds have a point system. So immediately you get 7 points. Everyone gets 7 points. They first look at your criminal history. Have you ever been convicted or faced any judge in a federal crime? He didn't. Neither did you, right? So you have 7. You're a 1-level criminal history. So that works for you. That's good. You want to not have any crimes in your past. They then look at it and say, what's the scope of your crime? What did you actually do? So he stole more than $550 million, right?
800 million. I think I heard 800.
Well, no, he stole 8 billion. It doesn't go that high. It only goes to 550 million.
Yeah. 8 billion. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There's a point scale for every amount, right?
Yeah.
I think it's every 50 million. He had the highest point total. So he has 30 plus the 7. That's 37. He also stole from more than 25 people. It's a point level that they equate to you.
It's like crossing the border with a cocaine. Every border counts as a federal charge.
Right. So he has 43 points. Now, as you get more points, there's a level of how long you get on that point level. Anything over 40 is a life sentence. So once you cross 40, everything else is redundant. Now, once you get your point scale, right, that comes out through the feds, the judge, he then decides, do you get the sentencing guideline of life?
Jury and executioner at this level.
So they could have gave him, he could have gave him whatever.
You could give him life, right?
He could have gotten life, right? No, they gave him 25 years. Now,
no, he could have gave him life, judicially speaking, right?
Yeah, he could have gave him natural life, and he would. And in the feds, you don't get out early. You did do 85%, so he would have did. So if they give him 110 years, he'd have did 80-ish, 85 years. So he'd have gotten life. He's already 30 years old. So yeah, the feds are a way different animal than, like most people don't even know this shit. They don't even know if the federal system exists. Like Sam Bankman-Fried he also has to pay $11 billion in restitution.
Hold on real quick. I thought I knew him until I looked at him. I actually don't know this story. Can you briefly tell, like, where did he steal this shit from? I know we don't have, like, crazy time, but, like.
Show the video, Bailey. He could show it.
Yeah. He created a company called FTX.
This guy?
Yes.
Okay, so they were attempting to extort him?
Wait, hold on.
They were trying to.
So this is a kid I know, this kid Gene. He was in the mob years ago, not anymore, but he was in with SBF and MDC. Sam Bankman-Fried ran a company called FTX. They were a crypto company where
I know that company.
Right. Essentially, you buy crypto through this company. He was taking the funds of customers and attempting to use it to pay off other businesses that he had. One called Alameda Research that was fucked. He was also using the money to buy things for himself. So he was basically stealing customer funds.
Damn, okay.
So this kid was with him in prison. I knew the kid, so I interviewed him, and he kind of told me about people were fucking with this kid in prison, so he kind of tried to help him out a little bit.
You're talking about this guy?
Yes.
Okay, so they were attempting to extort him, is what you're telling me?
They were trying to, like, intimidate him and push up on him. I didn't like it. The dude was harmless.
So you went up to the kid and said, I'm going to handle this for you?
I basically told him, like, I told the kid, the blood kid, you're not doing this. It's not happening. The kid's harmless. You're not doing it. And he swung at me. And that was it. I just went ballistic on him.
Now, did this guy, Sam, did he thank you at all? Or?
Well, I went to the hole. I never seen him again. I went home from the hole. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Hopefully Sam gave him a few dollars.
Yeah, Sam's, he'll be in his 50s, when he gets out. So
hey, still a lot of life to live, though. I mean, he kind of got it a little.
Yeah, but he has to pay restitution that's more than what he stole.
But see, the problem is, and this is why I don't understand about this. Smitty makes a point. He only got 25 years. Could have got life. He'll be out in about 21 years. So he'll be early 50s. Has a lot of life.
My lawyer actually said he'll probably be out in 18.
Yep,
Right, because they have certain programs in the feds you could do. He'll likely teach other inmates, help them. He'll be worthy in prison. Like, he's a good person to put him. Look, he'll help other inmates. But my whole thing is sending him to prison. I get he has to serve time for his crimes, but he's a whole lot more worthy on the outside. He could earn that money back quickly. I feel like if he was out working and doing things. I don't understand why putting him in prison, what that really helps. I mean, he needs to pay his investors back, right? Sitting in prison ain't going to do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like it should be like another form of discipline. Like, I don't know if it's like a 20-year fucking house arrest, but you got to do X, Y, Z through. I don't know. Like, it should be like another thing before prison, I would say, for certain crimes like this.